Real Virginia is proudly produced by the Virginia Farm Bureau Federation. Since 1926, Farm Bureau has been working to preserve Virginia farms and our rural heritage. Visit our website at vafarmbureau.org.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay, Atlantic to Appalachia, home in my heart always.
Hello everyone and welcome to Real Virginia, a show about Virginia agriculture and the people who produce all of the wonderful products we enjoy. An annual tradition is returning to the State Fair of Virginia. Just how do they serve all that delicious barbecue at the fair? And a popular snack food has a few roots in Virginia. Welcome back everyone. We're here in Culpeper County and the Sale of Champions is going to be returning to the 2015 State Fair of Virginia. This is an opportunity for the best of the best livestock of 4-H and FFA students to be recognized while also earning scholarship money. It's a tradition many young people look forward to all year, taking their prize-winning market steers, hogs, lambs, and goats to the State Fair of Virginia. These animals will be shown during the youth livestock shows, and then an old tradition will be resurrected. The winners will be auctioned off during the Youth Livestock Sale of Champions on October 3rd.
It was decided to return to the Sale of Champions because we were looking at a way to bring more attention to the youth livestock program and shows, and also a way to sort of give more opportunities for the students to earn more scholarships.
The Sale of Champions is returning after an absence of several years. It's a time-honored event in rural America to auction off the top animals at each state fair to benefit the next generation of farmers. These animals represent scholarship dollars each student has the potential to earn in the ring. Tommy Clark's children show animals at the fair, and he says the program has given them much more than just money for college over the years.
Some mornings it seems awful early when you have to get up and take care of your project before you go to school. There is still a sense of fulfillment that you get by going out and seeing that those animals are doing well and that they ate before you had breakfast.
Each animal in the competition is well cared for and trained for many months. Many of these students may return to the farm after college. Others may not go into production agriculture, but the lessons they've learned will be important for the rest of their lives.
Animal projects help instill a sense of responsibility in the care for the animals and working with the animals and dealing with the issues as they arise, whether they be health or how they're reacting to something you're doing, gives a kid an opportunity to equate to a lot of other things. I think I'd be quoting Will Rogers that there's something about the outside of an animal that does something good for the inside of a kid.
This year's sale will include 8 animals in the Grand and Reserve Champions category. Organizers believe those animals will produce a total sale of about $50,000. The sale is open to the public and will be a highlight of the 10-day state fair.
The Sale of Champions will be the second Saturday of the fair, which is October the 3rd. It'll be in the First Bank and Trust Company Pavilion, which is on the south side of the property where the cattle shows are. We have a reception beginning at 5 and the sale will actually start at 6.
Each year the State Fair of Virginia offers youth contestants up to $70,000 in scholarship money for 4-H, FFA, and vocational competitions, as well as specific equine, fine arts, and horticulture shows. The Sale of Champions will help boost that number in years to come. If you'd like to bid, sale details are available on the fair's website at statefairva.org under Attractions and then Special Events.
Each year, thousands of young people parade their livestock projects at county fairs across the nation. It's a proud rural tradition that dates back to the beginning of the American fair movement in 1807. In the beginning, fairs centered almost solely on agriculture success stories and efforts to improve crop production and livestock breeds. Today's fairs offer family entertainment and all manner of other attractions, but their farm roots run deep. Showing livestock at the local level often gives young men and women the experience needed to succeed at the state level.
I'm Mark Viette. Coming up on In the Garden, I'm going to talk about late summer, early fall color. Stay with us.
State Fair is bringing you the best of Virginia. My job is picking it up. Know any driving tunes? They've been in the bathroom, right? Hello, ladies. Hello. No fight songs. This could be a challenge.
Learn more at statefairva.org.
A number of plants can add color to your garden this fall. Mark Viette shows us a few in the garden.
Sunflowers are a great addition to the garden. Now keep in mind, when you plant your seed, you need to plant them about 3 months prior to when you want to experience the beautiful flowers and the seed heads that are filled with sunflower seed. Really tells you, late season is about to be here. And if you look here at this sunflower, you can see where the birds have already fed on a lot of the seed. And pretty much they pick the seed as soon as they darken. But a great addition to the late season garden. Underneath the beautiful blue Atlas cedar, we have a fantastic ground cover that carpets the ground. It started out with about 9 to 12 plants, and as you can see, it has spread over many years. This plant is commonly known as plumbago, or botanically, Ceratostigma plumbaganoides. But just remember hardy plumbago. Beautiful blue flowers in August and into September. And then, starting in October, we get the beautiful scarlet red fall color on the foliage. Fantastic plant to use in a garden for that late season color. When you're designing your garden, you can create a specific time period for when you want your garden to look great with bloom. Here we have a late blooming crepe myrtle that's still in bud. In front, the beautiful hostas and late blooming hostas with their flowers. And then we have Rudbeckia Goldstrom, which is known as Black-Eyed Susan, giving its wonderful color. And one of my favorite plants has to be the fall blooming anemone. They pretty much do well in bright shade. They fill in, they naturalize, and you can see other types of hosta and plants in this garden. It's that easy. You can create a garden to bloom at a specific time, and what we've done here is we've created a late season colorful garden. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
For more garden tips, go to inthegardenradio.com.
Just how do the barbecue chefs at the State Fair of Virginia create their delicious meats? We'll visit them next in the heart of the home.
Well, they're on our farm here in Virginia in Augusta County. We have been here since 1954. We moved here, my dad did. And since then, I've had my 2 sons and daughter and son-in-law, they're here. I've got grandchildren, so it's a 4th generation here that's on this farm right now.
We really feel blessed that all of our family is a part of this farm. They could have chosen different routes.
Well, it's a wonderful place to grow up and have a family, and we can all work together and play together.
I know there's a lot of families, they go to work and you don't see them till that night, whereas with the farm here, we see each other all day long.
It's a wonderful place to grow up and live.
Being out here in nature and watching things grow, and just days like today, that's a beautiful day, you just feel very fortunate. I'm Dan Holsinger. I'm dedicated to dairy, my cows, my milk, and my land.
Do your part. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank today.
While cooking beef or pork over a fire dates back to prehistoric times, in North America the term barbecue has been traced back to Spanish explorers who used the term barbacoa to refer to the West Indian natives' method of slow cooking meat on a wooden platform over hot coals. Just throwing some meat on an outdoor grill is not barbecuing. True barbecue involves slow cooking meat for hours, sometimes 18 hours or more, and usually over wood or coals so that the meat has a smoky flavor. Pork is the preferred meat for barbecues across the South, but Texans prefer beef brisket for their barbecue.
The State Fair of Virginia is coming up at the end of September. One of the most popular vendors is the Block Bridle BBQ. Former Miss America Carissa Jackson visited with them last year to find out some of their secrets in the heart of the home.
Hi, I'm Carissa Jackson for Heart of the Home. Thank you so much for joining us for this special episode. We're at the State Fair of Virginia at the Block Bridle tent, and I'm here with my friend Austin, who's going to tell us a little bit about what the Block Bridle Club is. So could you explain a little bit?
Yeah, Block Bridle is a nationally recognized animal science club. We do a lot of things for the 4-H and FFA children. We teach about animal science, meat science, things like that. Do a lot of barbecues. At events like this is actually our main fundraiser for the year. So nationally recognized at many colleges throughout the United States.
Awesome. So Austin and I are going to be walking through the tent a little bit. He's going to show me some of the amazing recipes that they have here, and then we're going to try some in a little bit. We're really excited. So we are now at the grilling portion for our pork butts, but it looks like there's a really good marinade on it. The aroma is awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the steps prior to putting the meat on the grill?
Yeah, basically the Boston butts come right out of the refrigerator, and we just put a rub on there. It's basically just a salt and pepper mixture, about 50-50, so pretty simple really. It's coarse ground pepper and salt.
Okay.
And put it on there pretty thick, but not too thick, you know, kind of go by the taste.
Yeah, and you can get coarse ground salt and pepper at your local grocery store, so this is definitely something that you can do in your house. About how long do you massage the meat, or you just get it all over and then put it on?
It doesn't really have to be a certain amount of time. Just make sure it's covered well, and it helps if you rub it in a little bit maybe, but not a really long time.
How long do you marinate it? Does it need to sit for a while, overnight, a few minutes?
It's not really a set time. You know, sometimes we will do it the night ahead.
Okay.
That could affect it, but with the rub, really, I don't think it affects it too much. It really soaks in as we're cooking the meat, so having it on the grill is the big thing.
So I would assume that a recipe like this works best on a propane or a gas grill. What temperature would we want to get our grills up to at home, and what are some best practices for us to make sure that our pork butts come out the best way?
Okay. Well, this grill, we usually it's at about 350 right now, and it doesn't have to be that hot, but you know, the hotter is, the less time it will take to get it up to temp. So a good hot grill is probably necessary. Enclosed grill is good to have. It keeps the heat in there, so you know, any type of gas or propane grill would probably be fine at home.
Okay, and so once our gas grill or our propane grill has reached the temperature of 350, do we want to turn it down at all for the duration of the time that it's cooking, or leave it?
Go ahead and leave it up there.
Okay.
And once you get it turned over and wrapped in tinfoil, which just holds the moisture in there, just kind of leave it at that temp, and it'll wait till it reaches 190, 200, and you should be good to go.
Okay. Now, is there a reason that you cook it fat side up in the aluminum foil?
Yeah, as the fat's up, it lets the juices run down inside and adds that flavor to it, so just makes it a lot better taste in there.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to taste it. 3 more hours. So while we're waiting on those pork butts to marinate, Austin's going to tell us a little bit about one of the things that Block Bridle also offers, and that's a quarter chicken. They are right here and they are grilling. So can you tell us a little bit about what you did to the chicken before you put it in the grill?
Yeah, basically we marinate the chicken, and this can be, you know, your own marinade recipe or whatever works for you there, but we kind of use I don't have all the ingredients memorized. Vinegar, vegetable oil, various seasonings, poultry seasonings, salt and pepper, things like that. Marinate it. Preferably, it's good to do it for several hours, but you know, whatever time allows, but at least several hours in the marinade, and then we throw it on the grill.
Okay, and so we're about to put a base on it a little bit. How long have they been grilling before we do this?
I would say about a half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
The total process probably takes an hour and 15 minutes to get them totally up to temperature, which is about 165. we usually take them a little past that to give them a good golden brown color, you know, to get the skin good and crispy. Maybe 170, 175, something like that. So.
And what's in our base that you're about to add to the chicken?
The base is it's also a vinegar based with vegetable oil, tomato juice, various seasonings, garlic and onion salt, and things like that. So once again, use your favorite base and it should work out fine.
If I were going to grill a chicken like this at home, how would I do it? Is it important for my grill to remain closed? Could I do a charcoal grill since this recipe is a little shorter than our pork butts?
You could do a charcoal grill, I believe, and it would be, you know, enclosed if you had a lid. It should be fine. Main thing is just to get it up to temperature, and that's about all you need to do. Make sure it doesn't dry out, you know, baste it, and you should be fine. Any type of grill, propane, charcoal.
And what temperature should we bring our chicken up to?
Safe temperature is 165, but like I said, a little higher than that gets it done a little more and gets the skin a nice brown color to it there. So.
Awesome.
All right, we've just got our Boston butts off of the grill. We're getting ready to grind them into pulled pork barbecue. We cook these butts to about 190, 200 degrees. Safe temperature is 165, but if you cook them up to about 200, it just falls off the bone. So we're going to start grinding these.
So is this a traditional pulled pork? Is it a minced pork?
Yeah, it's ground actually. We don't want it too minced though. Just ground enough to look good on the sandwich.
Okay.
It's not really a science to it.
Okay. Looks good. Now, how would you do this at home if you don't have a grinder like this?
Well, that would be more of a pulled pork, I guess. You'd have to do it by hand.
Okay. Could you possibly chop it?
You could chop it.
Okay.
Soon.
All right.
You would want to get it up to these temperatures at least, though, probably, because it really, if it's not to these high temperatures, it just doesn't come apart very easy.
Okay. We are here at the front line of the Block Bridle tent, where it all goes down and people are served up this wonderful food. So I think we're going to get ready to have some, right?
That's right.
Awesome.
These two young ladies will get you served here.
Okay.
Pork?
Yes. We are about to eat, but before we do that, there's some sauces here that we can add to our sandwiches, right?
Yes, there is. We have two options actually for barbecue sauces. We have a Carolina type vinegar based sauce and also just a regular kind of a sweet barbecue sauce. So those two options.
Awesome. Well, I think I'm going to go for the Carolina. Thank you so much. Again, this is Caressa Jackson for a special edition of Heart of the Home at the State Fair, Virginia at the Block Bridle tent. Austin and I have had a great time today. So if you stop by the fair, make sure you stop by the Block Bridle tent, because what better way to fundraise than to eat some barbecue?
Recipes from the Heart of the Home can be found on the Virginia Farm Bureau website at vafarmbureau.org. Visit the Virginia farm that produced an American legend. See the birthplace of 1973 Triple Crown champion Secretariat, now a Virginia historic landmark, at Meadow Event Park. Our Hoofprints of History tours are given year-round by reservation. It's a perfect day trip for families, groups large or small, and anyone who loves horses and history. Resident author-historian Leanne Meadows-Layden conducts the tours and shares behind-the-scenes stories about Meadow Stable and its most famous son, Secretariat. Meadow Event Park also hosts the annual Secretariat Birthday Celebration at the Virginia Horse Festival each spring. The festivities at the State Fair of Virginia and Meadow Event Park include an annual salute to Secretariat during both weekends. Come see where the legend lives on. Visit Secretariat's birthplace at Meadow Event Park.
Boating under the influence is illegal no matter where you boat. Law enforcement officers will be conducting heightened enforcement patrols during Operation Drywater, looking for boaters who are boating under the influence. Alcohol is the leading contributing factor in recreational boating deaths. Stay safe, stay sober, never boat under the influence.
One of the favorite treats of the state fair is popcorn, and while there's not a lot of popcorn growers in Virginia, it turns out there are a few. Dave Miller says it can be done, but it takes a little care.
Most of the nation's 968 popcorn farms are in the Midwest states like Nebraska, Indiana, and Illinois. But there are 5 popcorn producers in Virginia raising a specialty crop with a wide appeal. One is William Hale. His 30-acre farm, All Farm Organics, is at the end of a shady lane in Louisa County.
There are, I think, 7 different distinct types of maize, which is the American corn, which was developed originally, is a relatively new crop of maybe 7,000 years or so, was not found anywhere except North and South America. It originated in Central America. Popcorn is one of those 7 types, and it's a type of what we call a flint corn. And what makes it unique is that it has a highly elastic, very strong seed coating, which when it has the proper moisture inside the seed and heat is applied, will expand to a great pressure before it finally releases, and that causes the popping.
Hale says popcorn grows well in Virginia. Other than fighting raccoons for his crop, his biggest challenge is preventing cross-pollination. Growing sweet corn or any other corn variety too close by will lead to contamination of his crop, ruining the popping quality of the corn. So he keeps his popcorn patch well away from the other cornfields with a buffer zone of trees and distance.
Popcorn needs to be around 12% moisture to pop well. It just happens that at that moisture content, you have enough moisture in the corn kernel to expand a lot, but not too much. And to get that moisture content of 12%, it's very difficult to test it. But there's a wonderful magical thing that the Providence has given us to do that, and that is when you harvest the popcorn and you let it dry, when it's able to come easily off the cob, and you take your cob and just do like this with it, if the corn comes off easily, it's right about at that 12% moisture content.
Americans consume about 52 quarts of popcorn each year. Despite its popularity at the fair, movies, and other outdoor events, the majority of popcorn is now produced for home use, usually in microwave-ready packets. Hale's corn is usually popped the old-fashioned way. Hale says popcorn is easy to harvest and easy to process. He's an organic grower producing a specialty crop, so it's important to him that popcorn plants respond well to organic fertilizers and all the weeding he needs to do.
You know, the real challenge in organic farming is not the cultivation. The fertility. Fertility we've got down pat, and we can go to the moon with that. But the real challenge is weed control. And you get your land real good and fertile, you're going to have a heck of a time fighting the weeds. I asked a weed scientist once, how much mulch does it take to keep down morning glories in corn? He said they found that morning glories can go through at least 5 feet of mulch. But, you know, we're going back to times where, like in the 1950s and even into the 60s, where we had some pretty sophisticated weed fighting equipment and techniques, and we're coming back to that again.
Like many farmers, Hale is a big fan of cover crops and building up the soil. For instance, his composting operation is 5 acres, large enough that it's another side business. But his passion for raising popcorn is what puts smiles on the faces of his customers. In Louisa County, this is Dave Miller.
That's going to do it for this edition of Real Virginia. We're so glad you could join us to celebrate the bounty Virginia has to offer. Whether it's in your home, your garden, or your landscape, we are proud to say that this is Real Virginia. So for everyone from the Virginia Farm Bureau, thanks for watching. Make it a good week.
Home will always be Virginia, between the Blue Ridge and Chesapeake Bay.